Welcome, everybody, to Mission United's Battlefront to Homefront podcast. I'm your co-host, Scott Jones, along with Sean McPhee. We want to thank you all for joining us. And before we carry on too far with this, let me just ask you, do us a favor, like the show, subscribe to the channel, and please share it with your friends. That's why we do this, to get the word out there about all of the services and the things that you might not know that are available to our veterans, who, by the way, deserve everything they get and so much more. Sean, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I've been doing pretty good. How about yourself?
You know what? I'm still alive, and that's a good thing, knowing what happened. And no, but beyond that, I am just always so excited to get together with you and find out, because every time we get together, I find out, wow, I cannot believe those services are available.
Oh.
And we say it every time, and we're going to say it again. One of the biggest problems is people don't know what's available. Isn't that your struggle?
Before, it's the biggest thing that a lot of nonprofits have is our part of our budget for marketing is very small. And because we don't really have our own as Mission United, we have to rely on United Way for our marketing. And even then, our part is very small. And it's amazing for the fact that, there's so many different avenues of social media news and stuff. But unfortunately, it gets overwhelmed when we get lost in the mix. So it's very hard for people to understand what's available because they don't know when to ask or they don't know where to look.
Absolutely. And part of Mission United's mission is to supply these services, but you don't do everything yourself. You have certain things that are just specifically to you, but you connect to so many different things. And we're going to be talking to somebody today that is one of those connections. But how important are those connections with businesses and services that you get to tap into for your veterans?
It's phenomenal. I was just talking a couple of minutes ago with it. I meet so many wonderful people and the missions and the passions they have for the community. And I'm always meeting somebody new. As I was just talking a few minutes ago, I met a nice gentleman about 2 weeks ago that him and his wife started a diaper bank. And it was phenomenal. Like you're thinking, well, just little kids. I'm like, no, it's for senior citizens. Whoever needs them, they have a huge warehouse full of diapers for individuals that can't afford them. I mean, we think about it all the time when I tell people one of the most common things asked from homeless people are socks.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed at how a clean pair of fresh socks can change your day. If you ever put on a pair of socks after they get out of the dryer, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Well, that was always a focus in the military as well, about protect your feet and keep your feet clean and dry and wear socks. But that should be out there for everybody. And unfortunately, there's so many people that can't afford something as simple as socks, or they just don't have access.
Yeah, it is amazing when you think about the cost. And you start looking at them like, back in the old days, they used to have a service. They used to come until they became disposable, but they're still expensive. And even for fixed income individuals, it's just really great to know that now we have a community partner that we can work with and promote and help connect with other community partners that even if, like I said, if we could just help one person, that's all that matters to me every day. If we could just help one person alleviate whatever it is so that they can focus on being better part of the community, that's all it's worth to me.
Absolutely. Now, last show, Sean, we attempted to talk about education, and both of us we're like, if something shiny happens in the studio, we're lost. We just go. We're the same way, but we did talk a lot about educating people on what's available, but we didn't talk about actual education. And you brought somebody to talk about that today, right?
Yeah, definitely, Matt.
Yeah, welcome. My name is Matt Chenworth. I'm the Senior Director of Military Affairs at Southeastern University, and I'm a proud Marine Corps veteran.
Thank you for your service. We appreciate it. My son was a Marine, so absolutely got an affinity. So you're at Southeastern Nova University, and it's a military program that you run there. How long has that been going on, and what exactly do you supply?
Yeah, certainly. So the history of the center, Nova Southeastern University created a space for veterans. That's how it really started. Probably about 2013, a group of veteran students came together and they're like, hey, we need to justify that there's space. They were really great at talking to the administration, get a lot of people to buy in, and they were allocated a space on campus, which was amazing. 2018 was the first time that they actually hired somebody, a full-time staff member, to take charge of what is now the Veteran Resource Center and cultivate that student population and really build it to grow. And that's when I was hired at NSU, was in 2018, and have been there since. And just the growth and the success that we've had is incredible. And it's amazing how many initiatives that we go and we'll look elsewhere. We'll benchmark. We'll see what other universities that are very successful, and you could tell that they are really true to the vein of being pro-veteran, pro-military.
Mm-hmm.
How do we create that, but within our own vein of what makes sense at Nova Southeastern? And we've been successful, and it's not just on myself or our team, but also the many different administrators across the entire university that have been in full support of creating these services to help recruit these students, to help them get admitted, going through that entire process. And then once they're there, not only helping their transition to the academic life and the world there, but also making sure that they're connected with our community here, not only in South Florida with our Fort Lauderdale campus, but we also have other regional campuses in Jacksonville, Tampa. Shoot, we even have one in Puerto Rico and another one that was just added a couple of years ago out in Denver, Colorado. So we want to make sure we're mimicking these services at all of our campuses.
Yeah, because they're amazing, because I connected with them when you were on leave, and it's phenomenal the communications that I have with your resource center. I mean, I share a wealth of information. They share a wealth of information with me, and it's phenomenal what they're doing. I mean, I get a listing of every day of open positions in Broward County. I was sending that, and then they sent back like, hey, we appreciate it, but we get the same list. I'm like, oh, great. So not only are they providing their students with, hey, these are the jobs that are available that are specifically for vets. There are companies that are looking to hire vets in these positions. They're not like Joe Schmo jobs. These are companies that really want to hire somebody with a veteran background, and it's phenomenal to work with a group of individuals. Even though I don't see them, I communicate through them through email, and it's fantastic, the information that we share back and forth. They tell me what they're looking for. I send them what I got, or if something's events coming up, I make sure that they're aware of it to share with their veteran students. So it's a really great partnership.
I think there's a misunderstanding or maybe just an assumption that when people go into the military service, they get free education no matter what, and that everybody's coming in, because there was the program, I forgot what it was called.
Well, there were several of them back in the beginning. There was the GI Bill, the Montgomery Bill, which was started by a senator who actually, his name's Montgomery. It's not necessarily Montgomery from the city, but it was a senator that started it. So that we had veterans that were coming back. They were unable to take what they learned in the military and put it into the civilian force because there was no educational certificate or degree to go about what they learned. So that was the program that started. Now that eventually led to the VEAP program, which was VEAP, which for Vietnam veterans. They pulled some of the funding, so those individuals that were during the Vietnam that weren't given that opportunity. And then now we've moved on to the post 9/11, which then they've changed a couple different chapters. There's even a program that's set aside for the Reservist National Guard that they can partake in as well. So there's different avenues under that program. So here's GI Bill, which is actually now post 9/11, but there's different versions of that underneath of it. So the post 9/11 is just an overview name for the whole program, even though there's different parts to it.
Okay. All right, Matt, I'd love you to walk me through somebody who would need your services. Can you give me an idea about, if Joe got out, he does this, does this, and that way people can understand who would really benefit from this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the best example is from one of the programs that we've created, and it's unique. It's called Military to Medicine. So Nova Southeastern is an R1 Research 1 institution that is primarily medical. We've got everything from nursing, OT, PT, all the way up to DO, MD, pharmacy, optometry, dentals. Just think of it as a medical institution that also has a traditional undergraduate path. And we really look to take those undergraduate students through dual admission programs and expedite, go as quickly as possible. That's our solution to reducing the cost of tuition, is making sure that these students are really focused on their subject and getting to either graduation, whether they're stopping at undergrad or continuing their education into those higher degrees. So this program, the Military to Medicine, we saw a need. We were having medics shoot. One individual, he was a special forces medic, did 12 years with the Green Berets, went through the 18 Delta, the long, it's like a 1.5-year pipeline where they are learning trauma medicine. They're even doing rotations in trauma centers. This is in cities like Baltimore, in Tampa, in Chicago. Yeah. So they're in the operating room learning trauma medicine hands-on, so that then when they deploy with ODAs, they are well-trained. They're the highest medical professional, and a lot of times in 100 miles. So they need to be able to help support not only their team, but within their mission set, the community. So they've got this tremendous amount of training from the military, but unfortunately, you take it and you put it on a piece of paper called the Joint Service Transcript, which is supposed to show all your experiences from the military, and you want to go take that and translate it into college credits. You're not going to get very many, because college credits look at individual courses. And did you complete the requirements of A, B, C, D, and E? And if not, you're not getting the credits for that course, which makes sense. You don't want doctors that have missed a couple key portions of their education. Right. So we saw it as an opportunity for this individual that came in and applied. He didn't have high enough GPA. And this is something else that's very common with our veterans. The GPA was low because he went right out of high school and went into college. It's the logical next step to do, right? We're all told, go to college. Yeah. He went to college, didn't have purpose, didn't have direction, maybe had a little bit too much fun, and essentially failed out and joined the Army. The Army provided him that direction, that discipline, that sense of purpose, and that next pathway for his life, and was able to complete his bachelor's degree while on active duty, while in the special forces, while completing countless deployments. But that first GPA of what we'll say a 1.0 kept that 3.5 requirement from being achievable. And we did not have any kind of mechanism to flag an application for somebody that is going to be a rock star alumni, somebody that you're going to look at and just be like, wow, look at this individual, just humble as could be, smart, capable. And we missed that opportunity. And it didn't sit well with me. So I started thinking, how do we solve this problem? What is the solution here? So we have now created this Military to Medicine to find candidates. The ideal candidate, back to your question, would be somebody that's maybe 2 years from getting out of the military. We want to start their brain thinking of what are those next steps, because they have benefits while they're still in. I personally, as a veteran, want to make sure that they're maximizing their benefits. I want to make sure that if they are not utilizing that tuition assistance that they are eligible for, they get on that, because we don't want them to wait to use their post 9/11 until they're further along in their studies. If they're able to knock out an associate's degree and really focus on those prereqs that they're going to need, like biologies, like chemistry, like physiology, all those really smart classes that I would not have passed any of them, by the way. I wish I could have, but love it. But to help them back plan and figure out what those next steps are. So when they are ready to get out of the military, they know exactly what they need to accomplish to get to that next step. And it's not just our special forces medics. We're looking at anybody in the military. Take those background experiences and let's prepare you, because everybody knows we need healthcare professionals. We need nurses, we need doctors, we need anesthesiology assistants, we need all of them. So I want to help cultivate that solution or that problem by finding military members that are driven, motivated, and we are going to help them in that pathway of knocking out what they need to. So when they do apply to our school, whether it's at the undergraduate level, we've got a couple pre-med programs that can help prepare them if they need more academic strengthening, maybe their test scores are a little off, they need a little extra focus on that, or even the interviews. We've got those intermediary, like master's degree programs to help them get into that professional level, the DOs, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, allopathic, pharmacy, dental optometry, mental health, psychology. So many of those programs. So we're cultivating them so that they can be successful and get in there as quickly and painlessly as possible.
See, now I'm not aware, and it sounds like you're doing this, but I'm not aware of anybody who looks at their military service with the trained eye to understand that Bob went into the service. The Bob who signed up is not the same Bob who came out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a lot of experiences and things that should lend themselves to his education.
Absolutely.
People don't look at that. It sounds like you guys are doing that.
Oh,
We are. And a good example of this, again, is if this individual is coming in and let's say they're competitive, their scores are in the ballpark, but we get a lot of very astute individuals. They've known that they've wanted to be doctors since birth. They might be second or third generation doctors.
Right.
So their entire life has been from kindergarten until they're going into their senior year of college that they want to be a doctor. So they've got decades of experience wrapped up into a neatly decorated and wrapped box of an application packet. And I'm saying, oh, we're going to flag this individual because they have experience. They've got life experience. And some of them, like our medics, our combat medics, our corpsmen, our independent duty corpsmen, all these individuals, or if you're a lab tech or a flight surgeon or anything like that, your experience in the military is going to provide different experiences, but a lot of maturity for these candidates
Right.
that come into that program and really diversified in a sense that is going to benefit not only that class, but when they get out and they graduate, what kind of experience and impact are they going to have on their patients when they've had world experience instead of just classroom experience right into the white coat of being a doctor?
And the undisciplined nature of people before they go into the military, and then the disciplined nature they have when they come out has to be considered. Sean, you got to see it all the time. People who want to do something, but they automatically discount themselves and say, yeah, I'll never get in. You must see that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I saw that my last 3 years, as you used the term, I got voluntold to be the command career counselor because our career counselor had transferred out, and because we weren't a high priority billet, it was going to be a while before we got a replacement. So since my job usually was in charge of admin, they asked me to take over that position until they found somebody else. And it was constantly amazing that I used to sit down that they weren't just like junior folks. Some of the people I worked with were senior individuals, officers. Well, what are you talking about? That's real world experience. You did things that they only see in the movies. You did these things in the most hostile environments Mother Nature could provide on this planet, and you did the job with less tools than most people do, and you still succeeded. But one of the things that I've seen since I've been out, sitting when I was working for the state and helping veterans find work, was that you have to do your homework. You can't just, that's a lot of things I dealt with even when the junior folk were trying to get out. I'm like, well, did you do your homework? What's the outcome? What's the statistic? You have to do your homework. What is it? What program do I want it? There's multiple programs.
Yeah.
Like the BR&E program.
Absolutely.
Is a VA program for individuals to get work. What do they change it to? Is voc, rehab, and employment. I think is what they changed it to. Is those individuals that have some kind of disability or whatever that's preventing them to find work. The whole program is to help them get through the educational system so they can find work.
Yes.
And they automatically, this is great, but they don't do their homework on the program. They're not sure what to expect. They're not sure how the program, they just join up. And that's the thing that I constantly see with a lot of vets is they
difficult to navigate.
Yep.
And it's depending who you ask, they might provide you different levels of experience where the military is very lockstep in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's very clear cut. Like your decision matrix is very limited.
Yes.
You're being told when to wake up and where to be and what to be in.
Yeah.
And you get very used to that. And then when you're getting out, that freedom that I know I personally was very much looking forward to, waking up whenever I wanted to. Next thing I know, I just defaulted upon the habits that the military provided to me. But that's not everybody's case. Some people enjoy that freedom maybe a little bit too much. And then it's hard, whether you're going to school or maybe it's vocational training, or you're just looking to transfer because maybe you do have some training from the military to where you can go into the job field, trying to figure out how to navigate something that is very nuanced and not clear cut and will be a very contrast from the military to that civilian world.
And I assume there's problems with confidence and self-worth when you come out. And I spent the whole time I can take a tank apart and I can put it back together with my eyes closed. But then I look at these guys at the Ford shop fixing cars and I don't feel like I'm good enough. Or I've been a medic and I've done that, but I come back and I realize, what I did over there doesn't count here and I don't feel good enough. You guys must deal with a lot of that self-confidence issues, don't you, in both roles?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of the things that when I was working for the state in the education part was trying to get the veterans, regardless of age, to understand the skills that you learn are transferable and you have to be confident in those things. And don't worry about it, is that the other piece of the puzzle that you need to move on is simpler than you think it is. But they just need a little confidence boost. Sometimes you just need a little push. So that's why I love their resource center, because they can connect with other vets to help, motivate each other in a camaraderie that they all share. Don't worry, we're going to do this together, because that's how we do. We tend to migrate to each other. Like, how can I help you? It doesn't matter what branch or where we grew up. I said, like, we're going to help you get through this program. I made it. You're going to make it. So
that network cannot be understated. Not only do we have veteran student organizations on campus, but we also include the family members, the dependent and spouses. And I'll say this, I was not anticipating the value of the military dependents, the military brats, until one came into my office. It was probably my first year at NSU. She knocks on my door. Hey, my dad's in the Air Force. I want to work here. It's like, okay, very well. Let me navigate this and figure it out, because she was using benefits, her father's benefits, which are able to transfer if you're in for 10 years. She then also was receiving her father's post 9/11 GI Bill, and she was able to be employed by us as a VA work study student. And what I saw was that direct connection of somebody that for an 18-year-old had lived either on base or in very close proximity to a military base. She was able to straddle both that civilian lifestyle, but also the military. She was on a base probably every single day, so she saw that. But she also was living that more civilian lifestyle. And seeing our veterans come out, of course, they're skeptical, the in-group, out-group. It took a little bit for them to warm up to it, but now it is intrinsically a part of what we do. I love having our dependents and spouses work there, because they know how to deal with our knuckleheaded veteran nature, and also, yoke us up and let us know, hey, pull your head out of your, what, like, this is the path. They know how to navigate both. They are a perfect cultural bridge for these individuals to help that transition, to ease it, because they know how to talk to them. They know how to relate to them. They know their experience. They've heard all the war stories already. They've been a dependent or spouse for 18 years.
Yeah. They've been around their family members, friends, and whatever, share stories. But I mean, but a lot of colleges have these veteran student associations. And it's a great opportunity for vets to connect with the school and connect with their counterpart and how to move through their educational process and their dreams on where they want to get to.
And as they go through this and they maybe get involved in a program, now, not every vet that comes back has got PTSD, and I don't want to go there, but they've all experienced some sort of trauma in some ways, I'm sure, or they've had things that they've seen that people who haven't been in the military would not understand. So do you stay connected with them once they're in the program to help them psychologically, emotionally, and or just supportive services? Do those continue even though they're in the program and going to class?
Yeah, certainly. We want to be very intentional with how we reach out, because some veterans want to get out and they want to put the uniform in the back of their closet. That was a phase of my life. I'm moving on. We don't want to force anybody to do anything that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I know personally myself, I've gone through various ebbs and flows of my veteran identity. I joined the Marines and I never even considered being a veteran one day. Like, it didn't cross my mind. I thought I was just going to be in my dress blues until the day I ended up in a grave somewhere, So getting out and just kind of going through my own experiences, I can see how you don't always just want to be typecasted or profiled as they're a veteran, because for so long, like you had mentioned, the post-traumatic stress.
Right.
Okay, not everybody has post-traumatic stress. Like, life is traumatic, and guess what? Life is also terminal. Like, we're all experiencing things. if they need assistance, we want to make sure that we have those resources and services. So we will introduce ourselves. As soon as they apply to the school, there's a welcome email that comes from our director introducing herself and letting them know, hey, we're here. We're here if you need anything. If you've got any questions, we're here. We show up to the orientations, introduce ourselves again. We have the list of emails. So we'll send out just various tips and tricks of navigating benefits or navigating the VA or different programs and services that we offer, or shoot, we'll even advertise and share some of the nonprofits that are out there that are, again, focused on our veterans and just being and building community. We want to make sure they're aware that there's this entire ecosystem around them, because it is mind-blowing how many nonprofits exist.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them. And how do you make sure that our veterans know? I joke, but it's real. There's like bird watching for vets. Not my cup of tea, but for somebody that might be the perfect nonprofit for them. And I want to make sure that they're aware that that exists.
That's a friend of mine started a initiative in New Jersey, which was fishing with vets and
Tons
taking
of
them
that
fishing and doing things like that. So your relationship with Mission United and of course your relationship with Nova, is that something that is highly active? You guys are constantly working with each other?
Sean, how many hats would you say I wear with Mission
United?
United?
That's the same thing. Like we have the Veteran Advisory Board that meets the last Thursday of every month, and we were just talking about the other day. It's like, what committee are you on? I'm like, what committee am I not on?
Yeah.
So that's what's great with Matt is being part of our advisory board. I mean, he's on half our. Matter of fact, what position you second, third? You're second in charge, or
currently I'm the co-chair of the Education and Employment Committee, but I'm also the previous chair of the Advisory Council and also participate in countless other initiatives.
Yeah.
So it's a amazing organization that when I'd first come to South Florida, I was working up in Boca at Florida Atlantic University, a little bit further away, but people initially started telling me there, hey, you got to get connected with Mission United. I'm like, okay, well, that's all the way in Fort Lauderdale. I'm here. Like, I didn't see the need for it at that time. Then I go to NSU and I heard the same thing again. You have to get connected with Mission United. You need to go. All right, that's a little bit closer. So I talked with my boss and they're like, oh yeah, go ahead, go to the meeting. And it's funny just how quickly you go from sitting in the back row. The next thing you know, you're at the head of the table. It's like, how did this happen? How did I get here? I don't know. I just keep showing up, and I guess I answer phone calls and emails and earnestly want to help other veterans. But that connection, just on a larger sense, NSU and United Way partner in a lot of initiatives, and that's a long-standing relationship. And when Mission United was formed, some of the original founding members, Ray Ferrero, the current president or the previous president, is 2 presidents ago of Nova Southeastern University, was a big proponent to forming of the Mission United, which is now on a national expansion through Stephen Moss. Shout out to Stephen, amazing man, and really a visionary leader.
What did James say the other day? Where our initiative is in 42 United Ways, I think he said.
42.
Oh, wow.
42, and we're about to open a direct service location in Okeechobee very shortly.
And that all started here.
Here.
That's what an amazing thing.
By wonderful veteran community members that saw a need, and United Way asked them to create this program. And well, God, what, 13 years now, 12 years, 13 years. You think about how fast it's grown. And like I said, it's really amazing. It's one of the reasons I love this job and coming to work is the passion. If you ever sit in our veteran advisory board, the passion and energy of all the individuals that are in that room are mind numbing, and they're not all vets.
Wow.
They just want to help the veteran community. And it's really awesome to feel that energy every time I go. It's never like an argument. Nobody's fighting. Everybody's like, okay, let's talk this out. What is going on and how can we as a community fix it?
I got to say, because Matt, when you were telling the story about how it all started, I mean, here you had a couple of vets that went to the United Way saying we need, and here you had a handful of students who got together, said, we just need some space, probably not knowing what it would turn into. But how amazing is that when people come together and they talk and they step forward and say, this is what I need, or this is what my community needs. That's how things change. And we need more people doing that. We need more people. I mean, everybody looks around and they say, this is wrong and that's wrong and that's wrong. And we got the homeless, we got this. But nobody steps up and says, all right, here's an idea. Because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Look what's happened. I got to ask, Matt. Thank you for your service. How long were you in the Marines?
4 for the Corps.
4 for the Corps.
So
When you got out,
Short.
did you have somebody help you to get on your feet and back into civilian life? Did you have a mentor or somebody, maybe a relationship that was a guiding force to help you?
yes, and I would say 2 major factors. One, just family and friends. I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, and I was stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
See, that's trauma right there, growing up in Baltimore. I mean,
Well,
you already were in trouble before you got in the service.
well, let me specify. I grew up in Dublin, Maryland, which wasn't even large enough to have a zip code.
I know where Dublin is. I used to have a house in Ocean City.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I was 3 miles from the Pennsylvania line, grew up near cornfields and farmlands.
Okay.
Beautiful country, 45 minutes from Baltimore. But you say Dublin, Maryland, nobody
Yeah.
outside of somebody who's been through that area would have any inclination of where it was. But getting out and being able to go back and just having a friend group that was still existing, we remained friends during our time in high school. And I have to say, just that period of 2005 to 2009, my 4 years, that was the dawn of dating myself a little bit. MySpace came out. So you're able to use email and internet to connect with each
Starting to
other.
make me feel old.
Yeah.
I know. I just updated my MySpace page. Check it out.
But then Facebook, and
Yeah.
that was the dawn of that era, and you were able to stay connected with people. But really, that was great to have that social network. But these people were now graduating college, and they were kind of spreading out. I would say the person that impacted me significantly worked at the community college of Baltimore County, Essex. I show up my first day of classes, going to financial aid, trying to figure out what I'm doing. And I'm standing in line, probably look just a little bit older than my peers. And someone walks out. She looks at me and she says, "Are you a vet?" Like, wow, like I wasn't wearing a military t-shirt. I was in flip-flops and shorts, I was, "Yes, ma'am." She takes me back and she's like, "This is what we're going to do. I'm going to get all your benefits sorted. I'm going to get you the FAFSA. I'm also going to introduce you to our veteran student organization that I'm founding." Set it all up to where day one, I wasn't anticipating any of this. I was registered for classes, had the GI Bill all sorted, and I was ready to go. And I was being connected socially with other people that were going through that same thing. And Jackie Simek, a shout out to another amazing person. I reached out to her a couple of years ago, letting her know just how influential that was. And she wasn't a veteran, just another advocate, somebody passionate about helping her service members in that transition.
Is that one of the moments that led you towards helping your veterans, your service members?
Absolutely. So I started in community college. And then by the time I transferred to a university, you just think a university is going to be bigger and better and everything's going to be more beautiful and better services. They didn't have anybody there for veterans.
Yeah.
So it was just a nameless email to where we sent our benefits, and that was it. It didn't sit well with me. They're receiving the full amount of dollar, like the sticker price for tuition from the federal government for the VA to pay for my classes and books and fees and all of that. But they weren't going to at least have somebody, an advocate, somebody to help you along the way. And I sat in that dissonance for a while, and I realized through just other friends, other veterans that had gotten out, some of their universities had offices. And I started looking around and Google search and saw that there's an entire field within higher education to where individuals can help and advocate and support different student populations such as veterans. And it was through that lack, like you were saying before, I see a problem, but where's the solution? What is it going to be?
Right.
That I identified? That's a field, and that's a career to where I can still have that passion in what I do, that connection with my service members, being affiliated with the military still, like even ROTC and a lot of the commissioning programs are now under my purview, what I do at Nova Southeastern. But just seeing that as a field, like I couldn't be happier. Like I love the job that I have, the support that's around us on campus and in the community. It's been incredible.
Oh, just to throw a pitch out there, tutor.com has a free program for military members, veterans, and active duty member dependents. I used that when my 2 youngest children were in high school. They were talking about new math and all I couldn't figure out, so I connected them. It's
Addition, right? Addition.
Yeah. So they have tutors 24/7 standing by. I had I'm terrible at statistics. I hate it. Thank God I was stationed with nuclear ETs that could explain statistic formulas to me. But I was having issues with some of it. I went on tutor.com and that guy helped me through the formula because it wasn't making sense to me. And he was able to explain it to me. I just want to throw a pitch out there. If you didn't know, tutor.com as a program for active duty members and their dependents for free. So
that's, I mean, it's we could spend all day.
Oh God, yes.
We could spend all day talking about all the different services that are available. Just your two with the connections you have alone. It's amazing what you know, who you know, and everything else. And again, one of the problems is veterans are not getting this information. Some of them who desperately need it are not getting this information, or they don't think they'd qualify for some reason. Or you know what? You got to ask. You got to find out. Because I guarantee if you don't qualify for this, you're going to qualify for that. There's going to be something for you. There's something for everybody out there. Don't give up. Don't assume. Ask these guys. Now, how would somebody get involved and learn more about what you're doing, Matt?
Absolutely. Either through Mission United, which is a great, I'd say, hub and spoke model for our community. They reach out. If it's anything education based, it'll end up coming to me. So we get a lot of referrals that way. But also, if they want to reach out to me directly, my contact information, Matthew.Chenworth, that's CHENWORTH at nova.edu. And I'm veteran first. So I'll help them out, even if NSU doesn't ultimately end up being their university. I want to make sure that we are doing and providing the best services, because that reputation is going to just build and be well known, that will eventually attract those students that will come here that maybe want to be our next generation of doctors, or many of the other programs we have. We have business programs. We've got a lot of initiatives with the Ocean. NSU Ocean is our huge initiative now with our new president, Dr. Moon, that they're looking at the blue economy. We're right here in Fort Lauderdale. Think about how much money comes in just from the annual yacht week.
Yep.
Yeah.
The industry that exists around that. And we have a lot of programs that focus on that, whether it is through the research or looking at coral reefs. We do turtle research, and that they provide the turtle releases when the eggs hatch. They get them all to make sure that we're able to repopulate. Shark DNA sequencing, just things that blow my mind. Again, I wish I had the competency, but as Fab Waiver Matt only had the Marines.
And Sean, how could people reach out to you and find out about all of these things you have going on, including your direct services that you guys do? How do they reach out to you?
Oh, you like said 211. You can always call them. If you can't remember any phone number, always remember 211. Call them and say, "Hey, I'm a veteran, and could you connect me to or provide?" And they'll connect you directly to us.
Now let's let people know 211 is a non-emergency number. It's not, if you're in an emergency, you call 911. If there's an emergency,
any state, it doesn't matter where you're at. If your car breaks down or if you're lost someplace, well, I wouldn't ask them for directions, but but it doesn't matter what state you're in. Every state has a 211 non-emergency number that if you're in a situation, you don't know what the resources are available, call 211 and ask, and they will connect you directly. They're not going to, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to just say, here's a phone number. They're going to say, hold on, let me transfer you, let me call them, et cetera, et cetera. That's what they do.
Yeah, and they connect you with the proper people.
Yep.
They're not just sitting there saying, "Okay, here's what you can do." They're connecting you, and they're actually starting the ball rolling. Something happening there, so they can reach out to you through 211. They could also go to the website which is unitedway.org/Mission United, and please check out all the things they're doing. You mentioned that you got a lot of things going on now. We have any big events coming up?
Oh, gee. Let's see where to start.
See, I'm going to get to Matt too, because he came prepared with his events. Did you?
No, he did. I wasn't expecting that. I suppose you were asked. Let's see. The Bill Kling in Sunrise is having a buddy event where they're trying to make things much easier on veterans. I'm going to be part of that. Oh God, trying to lose. We have the Hero Fest, which is a better way of our veteran stand down. It's not what we really want to call a stand down. It's more of a Hero Fest. It's sharing resources, information at Nova. That's coming up in September. I remember. Yeah, correct.
And those are day of services. It's not walking around a bunch of tables and collecting a bag full of brochures.
No.
It's specifically designed that you go there and you're able to get things done while you're there.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're
Excellent.
providing, yeah. Let's see. Of course, we always have the food drives, the holiday drives.
Now, all these events are on your website.
Yes.
And so if you go, again, unitedway.org/Mission United, you can see the events that are coming up. And you want to encourage people to get involved, volunteer time.
Here.
Obviously, donate if you need to for certain things, the drives and different things. You want people to get involved, right?
Definitely. It's good for the soul. That's the only way I can really say it's good for the soul, is that I had no idea that when I was in the military that this is what I would be doing after the military. I thought my 24 years, short timer, in the military as an enlisted navigator, that I would be driving ships when I got out of the military. I had no idea until, right place, right time. I ended up in this type of work, and just the look of joy on somebody's face, if you could just help them. This one item, something as simple, as, when I did the BSO homeless, event, handing these people bags of shaving cream, razors, and a pair of socks, you thought I'd given them $1 million. It's good for the soul to volunteer. Just giving back to the community, you have to be thankful for all the things, because nobody ever gets anywhere by themselves. No matter who says, well, I did this all. No, you didn't. Somebody had to have been there. Somebody had to have molded you. Somebody had to be an icon for you to follow. There were people got you where you are. And by giving back a little bit of your day, instead of sitting in front of the TV or in front of your phone, help somebody, even if it's for an hour.
And I know for a fact there's a lot of people who did not serve in the military that wish either they could have or kind of regret the decision not doing it, or they just are in awe of the people who do it and serve. And you can have an impact. You can have an impact by supporting them, by doing events like this. Now, Matt, you also have some events coming up. Is that right?
Absolutely. So our annual fundraiser is our NSU Military Affairs Golf Classic, which this provides scholarship dollars not only to our cadets, like these are future service members that are part of the Army ROTC, but also our veterans as well. So we're looking for individuals that have financial gaps. NSU is a private, not-for-profit university, so the cost of tuition is a little bit higher. So we want to make sure that we are making it as affordable as possible, especially for this population. But this event is on September 29th. It's at Grand Oaks Golf Club, which is a beautiful course if you've never been there before. This will be the third year that we're putting it on, so it's exciting.
Win this time.
You're gonna put
play?
money on that?
Oh,
You're going to play?
of course.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hey, just got to get James to write that check.
Yep.
Well-
James, if you're watching this, I need to check.
But we've got foursome registrations all the way up to general sponsorship, signage opportunities out on the course, along with other underwriting options from swag items, breakfast sponsorship, mimosa bar, always looking for a mimosa bar sponsor. So lots of opportunities to get involved. And again, this goes directly towards our vets and cadets at Nova Southeastern. Just a great time. And again, if there's any questions about it, you can reach out to me directly at matthew.chenworth@nova.edu, or probably an easier one, a little bit shorter, vrc@nova.edu. That stands for Veterans Resource Center at nova.edu.
And you can get more information about the golf tournament there, correct?
Yes,
okay.
correct.
And what
So,
else?
The second one, not so much of an event. It's an annual state. Well, I don't want to say annual, but it's a state appropriation that we've received again. This is now going to go into our 6th year of receiving it. In 2020, it was revoked because of COVID. But starting in 2019, we've received state appropriations to help fund our NSU Health Veterans Care Clinic. And what this does is it provides at no cost to the veteran, the spouse, or dependent who is under 18 years old, access to dental, hearing, eye care, and mental health. Again, at no cost. And we've worked with the VA. If you go to the Bill Clinton Clinic, we've got these flyers all over the place because, again, we're looking for those gaps. We're not trying to compete with the VA. or looking for those gaps of service. To be eligible for dental care for the veteran, you need to be 100% service-connected disability. So if you're at 90 and you're relying on the VA for your health care, you got to figure out how to pay for things for dental on your own. So I can tell you that I use both the dental and the eye care at the Veterans Care Clinic, and it's been tremendous because, again, it's those students that are learning their trade. They're there, they're supervised by distinguished professors that have been in the field for decades, and it's right here in Davie. So you can go call them. You'll get scheduled. You've got a fast track line going through to register and get your appointments and everything else. And it's an incredible opportunity, something that we are proud to provide to the veterans and their dependents and spouses.
Wow.
And if you have any questions about any of the things that we're talking about, you're missing all of it, just put a comment in and ask, and we'll put in the link or whatever information you need in the comments to help you find what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, we have run up against time. And Sean, I think I'm proud. This time, I think we actually talked about what we wanted to talk about. Yeah. Nothing shiny happened. No squirrels ran by. We were good.
Yeah. We actually kept on track this time. Yeah. Because, it's just, there's so much information that we start talking, we snowball, and then you can't, it's hard. That's why I'm glad we get at least an hour a month, but I mean, there's so much information out there, and we'll hopefully one day we'll get, when I'm old and gray, and we'll get all these podcasts and everybody will know everything there is to need to know, but we'll get there one day.
Matt, again, Nova Southeastern University, thank you so much for your time. More importantly, thank you for your service, both active duty and afterwards, and all the work you do for all the people that need help or need a chance. They just want a chance. Right. If you had to tell people out there, maybe you got veterans out there that are sitting and thinking, I'll never be able to do any of that, what would you tell them right now?
Listen, we don't give handouts, we give hand-ups. So reach out and we'll find a path for you. There are just countless opportunities that exist, and you don't know what you don't know. So reach out, whether you're looking just for building camaraderie with some other like-minded individuals that have probably a lot of similar service experiences, to maybe looking for a career change or a move of careers. We even have Broward Vet Working, which is a networking group to bring people together, browardvetworking.org. Subscribe to us there. But we meet monthly just to get together and share resources. So just come out. It's great. It's fulfilling. And it's provided purpose for my life.
Thank you. You do so much. There's no way to thank you enough. Just so glad. Stop volunteering for everything. Are you married?
I'm married with a kid, so he's about to turn 1 here next week.
She's going to break your arm so you can't lift it up anymore and volunteer for stuff. But thank you again for all the work you do, Sean. People out there, they're still not reaching out for the help that they need. What do you want to tell them? I mean, in all areas.
Never be afraid to ask. It's you don't have to do this alone, because you're not. So just know that, ask for help. It's okay. What's the saying? It's okay not to be okay. It's perfect. All right. So call us, email us, find us, let us help.
Asking for help is the greatest form of strength that you can show anybody. And it's the greatest thing you could do for yourself. Suffering in silence has never benefited anybody. So ask for help. Make a decision. Decide you want to make a change in your life. And there's so many avenues to do it. And I'm talking to everybody out there, whether you're a veteran or maybe somebody with a mental health disorder, maybe somebody who just has struggled to find their path. Everybody, please reach out. There's always somebody there to help you. You just got to be willing to try. For Sean McPhee, I want to thank our special guest, Matt Chenworth. I'm Scott Jones. What?
Special.
I'm Scott Jones. Thank you for joining us right here. Don't forget, like the show, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.